Good morning, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the last class. As I told you that in a previous class that now today we are going to discuss about the concentration of solution. So before going to start the concentration of solution, we need to know that what is the solution and how it is formed. So as you know that the solution it is formed by solute and solvent. Solute generally, for example, it's a very clear. If we are taking any example, it is more easy to understand about the solution, or more convenient for us to understand about the solution. For example, take a 100 ml of water and put 2 and 3 spoon of salt or sugar in it, and whatever things formed after the dissolving complete sugar and salt, that form what a solution of sugar and solution of salt. So now we are taking the two things here. First one is water, sugar, or maybe salt, and second things we are taking water. We are taking what? Water. So the substance we are taking in the form of a solid, in the form of salt or a sugar, that is called water solute, and the amount of water which is in a large quantity, that is called a solvent. So you understand that the solution is formed by mixing two or more substance. So the substance or component or constituents which are in a less amount, that is called a solute. It may be in a form of solid, and solvent that is in a large quantity. Just like for example, in a solution we see that water is a water solvent. So how the solution is formed? Solution is formed when the solute is dissolved in a solvent. Okay, so it's clear, solute and solvent. Solute means in a less amount. In a solution, salt is a solute, and water is a solvent which is in a high amount or in a large amount. So now next is the saturated solution. What do you mean by the saturated solution? So saturated solution means when no more solute can be dissolved in a solution at given temperature is called a saturated solution. Means there will be no possibility of dissolving any more amount of a solute in a solvent. Means that level is come. That level is come when there will be no possibility. Means that the solvent cannot dissolve any more solute. That level or that type of solution is called water. That level is called the saturation level, and that solution which is formed, that is called the saturated solution. So once again I repeat this, when no more solute can be dissolved in a solution at a given temperature is called a saturated solution. Means there will be no possibility, there will be no chance of dissolving any more solvent in a solute in a solvent. So that solution is called a saturated solution. Now if we increase the temperature, suppose that we need to add more solute in a that solution. So what we are doing now, just we heat up. So by increasing its temperature, by heating at some extent, its solubility can be increased. Means it can be allowed to dissolve more 1 or 2 spoon solid in it. So from this you can say that the solubility of a solution can be increased by increasing a temperature, but up to some level, up to some extent. Up to that it's not possible anymore. You can heat up, or you cannot increase the solubility. So up to some extent the solubility can increase by increasing a temperature. Now next one, unsaturated solution. Unsaturated solution, if the amount of the solute contained in less than the saturation level, means the amount, the quantity of a solute is less than its saturation level, below the saturation level, less than the saturation level. So whatever the solution found by that, that is called what? unsaturated solution. It's clear? Yes. Now next, the concentration of solution. Concentration of solution means how much amount of a solute and solvent, how much amount of the solute is dissolved in a solvent. So on the basis of that, as I told you in the previous class, there are the two different type of solution on the basis of this concentration, concentrate solution and dilute solution. Concentration solution means high percentage of a solute. Just like for example, concentrate sulfuric acid, concentrate HNO3, concentrate HCl, hydrochloric acid. Concentration means the much more amount of a solute is more. Dilute solution means by adding the more water. Suppose that if we have formed a solution with the water, so the amount of water is large and solute is in a less quantity, so it forms the dilute solution. Suppose that concentrated solution, and that concentration solution we add more water in it can be changed into dilute solution. So now how can we find it the concentration? So concentration of a solution can be find with the two method. One, the first method or method one is this we can find by the mass percentage, or a second one is by volume percentage. So now first one, concentration mass by mass percentage means we are taking here mass. Okay, so now how we can calculate? So mass of solute divided by mass of a solution multiplied with the 100. What is mass of solute and divided by mass of a solution? Means how much amount, how much mass, how much quantity of a solute is taken divided by the whole solution, how much solution is formed multiplied with the 100. So we can find it the concentration of a solution in the term of mass by mass percentage. Mass by mass percentage. Second method, volume by volume. Mass by mass, and second one volume by volume percentage. Volume by volume percentage. So here instead of mass we are taking here what a volume, means in the case of a liquid, suppose that we are mix water and milk, so both are in water, we are taking here water, we consider the volume of milk and volume of water. And first this mass by mass means we are taking the solute and solvent in the gram. For example, 50 gram of sugar is dissolved in 1 kg water. 1 kg water we are taken, and 50 gram of sugar is dissolved in that. So in that way we can find it the concentration in the term of mass. But here if we are considered the volume, means the liquid things, means how much the alcohol is mixed with the water, so we can find it in the terms of volume. So you can say volume of a solute divided by volume of a solvent into 100. So these are the two ways by which we can find the concentration of a solution. Now we are taking examples. For example, now see here, by taking an example, suppose that we are taking the 50 gram of sugar. How much? 50 gram. 50 gram sugar, and it form the solution. See, 50 gram. by adding this 50 gram by adding this 50 gram sugar with the water, it forms a 350 gram solution. Means the amount of solute is how much? 50 gram, and total solution is formed after mixing in a water is 350 gram. So this is the amount of water solute. So how much the solvent? Solvent is here what? Water. Waters play a role as a solvent. So how much amount of the? So that you can find it. This 350 gram minus 50 gram means 300 gram. So amount of solvent is 300 gram. Now find the concentration. So now in the term of mass of solute, how much solute is there? 50 gram. So 50 gram divided by the mass of solution. How much solution is formed after adding sugar in water? 350 gram. This is 350 gram into 100. Now find a concentration. So this can cancel. 505, 535, and this 100 upon 7. So by calculating this, you can find it the concentration in term of mass. I hope you is clear. This directly can be asked. 50 gram of salt is dissolved in 250 ml, 250 gram water. So find the concentration. So concentration can be find. So by adding both things, you can find it the amount of solution. So I think it's clear for everyone. Now I will tell you some example of solution. Now example of solution means I already told you that the solution is a type of a mixture. It's a type of a mixture. So solution, as you know, that is a homogeneous type of mixture. So air is also what a homogeneous mixture. So the solution is formed with the alcohol and iodine. Iodine in a solid form and alcohol in a liquid form, or as a solvent. It forms what a tincture of iodine. This example is the constitution or composition of a tincture of iodine. Many ask in exam, many time ask to you, maybe ask to your teachers to you. So the tincture of iodine means it have the two constituents, iodine, and second one is alcohol. Iodine in a solid form means it's a solute, and alcohol is a solvent. Okay, solution, sugar plus water, it also forms aerated drinks. So carbon dioxide is in a form of gas, which is in a form of water, solute, and the solvent is water. Lemon soda and other type of lemanoids or like aerated drinks. So okay, so these are the example of a solution. So note down this, then note down from in your notebook. Then after we are discussing the properties of solution, suspension, and colloid. So now write down. Now here we are going to discuss the property of a solution, suspension, and a colloidal. Means what are the basic property or what are the main characteristics. On the basis of that we can classify some given examples. For example, if ink and sugar solution, starch solutions, sands mixed with the water, this all 3-5 items are given to you, and how can you classify them in a solution, suspension, and colloidal. So these are the basic characteristics, the fundamental properties on the basis of we can classify them into solution, suspension, and colloidal. So now first one, solution. For example, I told you that when we mix the sugar and salt with the water, it forms what a solution, means it completely mixed. It completely mix. So it is a homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture means it completely mix, uniformly mix. If we mix the sugar in a water, then we find it means it's completely mixed. There will be no chance of having any small particle of sugar. Means we don't know where the sugar particle is adjusted there. So that type of mixtures is called a solution, or a solution is a homogeneous type of a mixture. So as you know why it is the sugar is dissolved in the water, because there will be a gap or a space between the water molecules, in between the water atoms, so that atoms of the sugar is adjusted or fitted in that empty space or vacant space. That's why we are not getting we cannot find it any particles or any remains of sugar in a solution. Second thing, the size of a particles smaller than 1 nanometer. Nanometer means it's a unit for measuring the length. Means 10 raised to power minus 9. It's very small. The size of the particles of a solution is smaller than 1 nanometer. Means we can't imagine that. Very small size. That's why even we can use the microscope. We cannot find it. Even you use the microscope, and through that if you want to find the particles in a sugar solution, you can't find it, because the size is very small, very small. Means smaller than the 1 nanometer. Means from the naked eye we cannot see that. Even that if we are not we cannot able to see through the microscope, so it's no question about naked eyes. The particles can't be seen even by a microscope. Even that if we use a microscope, we cannot able to see the size of a particles. Means this is the particles of the sugar and this is the particles of a solid water. So we cannot able to see the size or particles due to very smaller size. Next one, stable mixture. It forms which type of stable mixtures? Means if you allow it for the long time, it will be looks like the same. There will be no change. There will be no change for the 1 hour or 5 hours. It looks like same when you mix the sugar in water. So you can find it at a same time. There will be no change. So it's which type of stable mixture. Solid does not settle down over a period. If you keep it for a long time period, 5-4 hours, it's like you see in the case of sedimentation process. If you take the rainy water and you keep it for a long 5 and 7 hours, or next morning you find it that the sand can be settled down at the bottom. So that solution is water. That is unstable, and that is examples of a suspension. Okay, suspension solution is water unstable, but this solution is stable. Means there will be no change. There will be no change. There will be no chance of having the particles can settle at the bottom. There will be no chance. Now next one, if the solution is passed through a filter paper, cannot be separated. Means if you want to separate a solution and a solute, if we want to separate a solution in the form of a solute and a solvent, we cannot find it, because the size of particles is very small. The particles of a sugar is very small, and it can easily pass through the pores of a filter papers. Filter paper simply a type of paper which have the pores on its surface. So through that pores, due to the very small size, the particles can easily pass. Okay. So we cannot separate it by the simple filtration method, because of what? The very small size of particles, means easily can be passed through the pores of a filter paper. Now next one, does not scatter a light and not so Tyndall effect. Means due to the very small size of particles, particle size is 1 nanometer, 10 to the power minus 9, is very small, so it cannot able to scatter a beam of a light. Means if you want to pass the light from a sugar solution, you cannot find it, the beam of a light can be passed. Suppose that in a beaker you can take the salt solution or sugar solution, and if you passed a beam of light with a torch at the side, you cannot find it the light, because that particles of the sugar or salt is very small and they cannot able to pass the light. So that is called what a Tyndall effect. Means this solution cannot show the Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect, you know, Tyndall effect means it's a phenomena of scattering a beam of light by a particle in a solution. That is called what a Tyndall effect. Now next we move towards the suspension. Suspension means what? Suspension, generally you can see that many types of medicine is given by the doctors and we mix with the water, and when we shake it well, it forms some particles. You can find it the small particles suspended in that medicine or a syrup. So generally you can also form this if you grind this chalk and make a fine powder and mix with the water, you can find it the suspension solution. Means the particle of chalk suspended in the water, muddy water, rainy water. That is also example of suspension. Means many sand or sand particles, clay particles suspended in a water. So these are the examples of water suspension solution. Suspension solution is a heterogeneous, means you can find easily, you can find it the particles, means particles are suspended in the solution. So it's which type? It's not completely mixed, it's not uniformly mixed, so it's a heterogeneous type of a mixture. Size of a particle is greater than 100 nanometer, means the particle size is enough bigger that we can see. So size of particle is 100 nanometer, but in the case of this one, 1 nanometer or small. Third things, the particles of a solute do not pass through a filter paper because of the size of a particles. The size of particle is bigger, means 100 nanometer, and pores on that filter paper is small, so that cannot pass through the filter paper. So if you want to separate the chalk powder and water, you can easily separate it with the help of filtration. Simple filtration settlement means we are taking the filter papers and the solution of chalk powders, we pour it, so slowly in a beaker we can find it the water, and on the surface of a filter paper we can find water chalk powder. So means due to the large size, it can easily separate, means solute and solvent can be easily separated with the process of filtration, means it can easily filtrate. Next one, the particles can be seen by the naked eye. As I told you that the particles easily filtrate, so the size of particles means it's bigger than in both. In case of this one, this so size of particle is bigger in a suspension. Okay. So that's why the particles easily seen by our naked eyes, means the fine grind powders or particles of a chalk powder we can easily see, okay, with our naked eye. There will be no use of having microscope for that. Next one is a unstable mixture. Means unstable means what? If you keep it for the long time period, slowly all the chalk powders or the dust particles or sand particles settles down at the bottom, as I told you in a case of a sedimentation process. Over a night, if you keep it that chalk powder solution, in the morning you can find it at the bottom a layer of water, a layer of chalk, and their water is the upper layer. So means there will be a sedimentation process happening in this case. So it's unstable. Means solute settles down so when left for a long time period. If we are leaving it for a long time period, it can be settled down. Scatter light. It can scatter light means it shows the Tyndall effect because the size of particle. Size of particle is large. 1 nanometer means large in size, so light can easily pass through this solution. Means suspension solution shows the Tyndall effect. Now next one, collider. Collider For example, it looks like a homogeneous. It looks like a homogeneous. Just you see in the case of a milk with the water, dye, ink, blue ink, red ink, blood. Okay, blood. You know that are very different components of blood. But generally, by seeing, we cannot find it with the particles. Okay, so actually, the colloidal is a looks heterogeneous, but it looks like a homogeneous. So please don't confuse in a colloidal. Okay, colloidal solution is a looks like. Generally, you confuse that is a looks like means completely uniformly mixed with each other. It's obviously it looks like a homogeneous, but not a homogeneous. Actually heterogeneous. By some advanced process, by some technique, we can separate it. Means solute can be separated through this one. Here also we can separate it, no problem for that. Salt also can be separated by. So here also we can separate. Means from sin, it looks like a homogeneous, but not a homogeneous. I hope you got it. Next one, the size of particles. The size of particles is between 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. Means the size of particles of a colloidal is in between a suspension and a solution. Means from 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. Particles can be seen by the microscope. Means it is little bit smaller. The size of particle is smaller than a suspension in the case of a colloidal. So it cannot seen with the naked eye. But by using the microscope, we can see the particle size. So whether you see that in a blood components, so the different components easily we can see in a slide or by the water sample, a blood sample. So particle can be seen with the microscope. It's a stable mixture, means the solute does not settle down. If you keep it, means for the long time period, if you keep it or allow it to settle down, there will be no chance of settle down any components. Generally blood, if you leave it blood for the long time period, there will be no sedimentation. In a milk, there will be no sedimentations. Means over the night and early morning you can see that there will be no sedimentations in a milk. Okay, so water is a stable. It's a stable, means there will be no chance of sedimentations or settle down the particles at the bottoms. So the solute does not settle down. We cannot filter it. Means the size of particles is small, so it can easy pass with the pores of a filter paper. So it cannot also separate with the filtration, simple filtration process. If you want to separate the blood components by using the filtration method by the filter paper, it's not possible, because the size of a blood component is very small and it can easily pass through the water through the filter paper pores. So it's not possible. Scattered a beam of a light, means this colloidal solution can be scattered a beam of a light, means it shows what a tangential effect is shown by this colloidal solution. For example, milk, blood and ink. These are the examples of a colloidal solution which looks like a homogeneous actually at the generally seen, but it's not a homogeneous, heterogeneous. So I hope you already understood this all things. Yes, so now write down in your own words by helping these things. It can be asked in your exam, means write comparison between the properties of solution, suspension and colloidal. It may be asked that write down the basic or fundamental properties or characteristics of colloidal and suspension, maybe solution. So now note down this. Okay, all these things are note down in your notebook in your own way. So I hope you are enjoying the class, isn't it? Are you enjoying? Yes, okay. So thank you for watching once again. Thanks for watching my this video. Have a nice day. Thank you.